Hi, today I'm going to be talking to you about Twitter and some of the uses for teachers and classrooms. So the first question would be for someone new, what is Twitter? Twitter is an online news and social media networking service. Users post and comment with things called tweets, which would be the messages that you post. How is Twitter created? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to twitter.com and find the sign up box or go directly to twitter.com/signup. You'll enter your full name, a phone number or email address, date of birth, and a password, and then you'll click sign up for Twitter. And in order to verify your phone number, you'll get sent a text message with a code. And so what you'll do is on the screen, you'll type in the code that gets text to you. And they sometimes also email that code to you if you've signed up with an email address. Once you've clicked sign up for Twitter, you can select a username. This goes with your Twitter account, so people usually try and make it something that would go along with the page. So like we have a 5th grade page at my school, and we just have it called NH 5th Cs. Our school is Normandale Hills, so the NH stands for Normandale Hills, and then 5th Cs for 5th grade. Then you'll double check your name, phone number, password, and username, and then click create my account. You'll be asked to complete a CAPTCHA, which is like the I'm not a robot. Either there's a box or there'll be letters or a picture to look at and click on things that match. I've also linked a how-to video for signing up for Twitter, and then all the directions I just went over came from the actual Twitter account sign up page. So the main question we want to cover is, how can Twitter be used in the classroom? I think for everybody in a classroom, Twitter is a really easy way to communicate on the go. Whether you have a phone or an iPad or a computer, you can post things on Twitter at any time as long as you have an account and the internet. So some of the uses for elementary level, which is what I teach, would be for classroom news. Sometimes you could post your newsletter. If you go on field trips, it's really easy to take a picture and then just put it on your Twitter feed for parents to see. Daily activities that you do in your classroom. I teach math, so sometimes when we're doing math activities, we've done the lock boxes. I've taken pictures and posted those on there. Pictures from just daily activities you do, playing outside, assemblies that you have. It's also a really good way to communicate between teachers and parents. Sometimes we send home a newsletter bi-weekly, and I don't think there are many parents that necessarily read those. But if parents have easy access online, it's easy to link in your newsletter via Twitter or other important news you want to get across. You can also have community involvement, so you can favorite other pages from schools to things in your community that will also be in the feed on your Twitter page. And then you can also do that with experts or other classrooms in your community. Not only will you see their things, but if you retweet something they do or you hashtag, you can also get involved that way. In secondary schools, you can teachers would be able to post assignments. You can do something called a Twitter chat, so it could be it's more so like a discussion group talking back and forth about a topic in class. You could have communication between the students and the teacher. Maybe your things have changed in class, or like I said earlier, assignments that you have. You could post classroom news just like elementary school, field trips, daily activities, pictures, and then the rest of this is also things I just talked about whether it's communication between a teacher and parents, community involvement, connecting with experts or other classrooms. If you're doing research projects, it'd be a really easy way for students to connect with experts. If they have their own account, they could favorite them or communicate with them that way and get information. So with Twitter, there are some challenges with integrating it into your classroom. One of the challenges we find at the elementary level is that if parents don't have Twitter, it's not a reliable form of communication. So last year was the first year we had an account, and we maybe had 5 parents that were on our page out of the 90 students, which is, close to 180 parents. So it wasn't necessarily a reliable form for us last year. We've increased our number. I would say we probably have about 30 new parents on our account out of 70 students this year. So we have increased, and I think as time goes and more classrooms use it, it will be helpful to us. We're hoping to get rid of some of the papers that we send home. The newsletter doesn't necessarily get read, but I feel like online email and Twitter is more likely to get read by parents. For elementary students, it could be hard to use due to getting an account. So earlier I talked about date of birth, and so elementary students aren't really old enough to have an account. So it has to go through a teacher. They can't necessarily communicate with you the way secondary students could. There are also privacy issues with sharing information, and so just having some of that digital awareness talks with your classroom beforehand would be really important. For some articles I read talked about Twitter being a little overwhelming. The news feeds can get to be a lot. It's so wide on the different people and communities and businesses that you can follow on Twitter that for some it can be too much and almost distracting for students. And then also, depending on what you're trying to do for class, you can only have 140 characters. So if you wanted, students to type out a paragraph reply, it wouldn't be good. It's useful for short back and forth conversations or, again, research, quick information. So some of the ways I've implemented Twitter with my 5th grade team at school, it's not just me. I've put in our Twitter account up above, and this is definitely something I've been working on the last 2 years. Our reading teacher, Mrs. Christmas, is definitely posts more than I do, but we try to post any exciting news. So I talked about kids doing a 20 book club challenge. Any kid in 5th grade that reads 20 novels in the school year. Our teacher does a really good job of taking pictures and posting those for parents, and it's actually been retweeted by the district. And I teach in Bloomington, Minnesota, which is a very large district in the state, and so she was pretty excited about that. Just fun activities that we do, student accomplishments. We had a reading challenge a couple weeks ago, and so our 5th grade classes, oops, that got deleted. Our 5th grade classes that all got 100% on the readathon. We posted pictures and videos of that. Sometimes we just share about our days, activities that we're doing, or exciting news that we have to share. Announcements, we have field trips. We have Camp Audubon is a 3-day overnight trip that we take, and so anything we want parents to know, we put on there. We also put it in our newsletter and email, but we also add it to our Twitter account if we remember. Anything with assemblies, field trips, connecting with other classrooms, not only in our school, but other districts, and other schools in our local district. I think it's been a good thing to do. I just find that even if we're out at recess and it's a really nice day, I can pull out my phone, I can take a picture, and I can just post it to Twitter and just say, hey, here's what we're doing today. And I think, for the parents that follow, it can be really fun. I know I'll look forward to my daughter getting older and her teachers using Twitter and being able to look at some of those things. I like that form of communication. It's quick, and I find adults are often looking at their phone, so it's easy to just pull up. And then below I've just included some of the sites that I use for research and information. But hopefully this was a helpful tool and for any teachers out there that are looking to use Twitter. And I'm just continually trying to get better at using it because this is only my second year, and I find that I sometimes forget about it, but it can be a really useful thing.